Thank you guys so much for watching. Welcome to Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. I am your host, Robert Rucker, and I'm here with something interesting, the beautiful, the extravagant Miss Maroon and White. Say what's up, Miss Maroon.
Hey y'all, I'm Kalin Tate. I'm a junior English major at Spelman College. I'm from Columbus, Georgia, and I'm the 81st Miss Maroon and White of Morehouse College for the 2017-2018 school year.
Oh man, you just sound official already. It's like you were born for this. You were born for this, man.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna start off real chill. Okay. 3 either or questions. Okay. Shea Moisture or Cantu?
Let's see, I'm gonna say Cantu.
Okay.
I've been using Cantu for a while and it hadn't done me wrong yet.
And the Shea Moisture scandal didn't influence Cantu?
Nope, not at all. See, Shea Moisture is a thing. I don't care what nobody says. Shea Moisture is really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and Cookout or Waffle House?
Waffle House. Cookout is too greasy for me.
Really?
Cookout is too greasy for me. And I had Waffle House yesterday. I hadn't had Cookout in a minute. Now, when I'm broken on a budget, Cookout is the hot spot.
For real. Like, I like Cookout, not gonna lie, because Waffle House, just the fact that they don't have pancakes invigorates me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it does. I will say, Cookout has a really big selection too, and their shakes are really good. They're so rich and they're so good. So yeah, they're really good. I will say they got them there. Okay,
and Nike or Adidas?
I have Nike shoes. So Nike.
True. I've always liked Nike as well. You know, Adidas, y'all out here too a little bit, I guess, but Nike is definitely number one.
Nike is good.
Okay. So now we're diving in. So pageants. The pageant was phenomenal. You did phenomenal. So did you grow up doing pageants as a kid or what?
No, I didn't grow up doing pageants. I always wanted to do one. Like even when I was like in high school, I told my mom, I said, I want to do the Miss Teen Columbus pageant or the Miss Teen Georgia pageant. We never really got around to doing that because, you know, real pageants are extremely expensive. When I competed in high school, we did a Miss Raider Pride pageant, which is like Miss Shaw High School, I guess you could say. And so when I did that, it was a very nice pageant. I feel like at the time it could have been done way better, but because of the resources and the time we had, that's what we worked with what we had. So it was 30 girls in that pageant. I was the last contestant, and I was really proud of myself. I will say that I was proud that that I won. I was because I won the Miss Raider Pride pageant because I felt confident at certain times. I didn't have a big hairstylist or a big makeup artist to do my hair. So my mom did my hair and my aunt did my makeup. It was just that simple. And I won because I was myself. I was genuine. When I got to Spelman, I liked that vibe. I liked being able to participate in things like that so I could showcase my talent. Yeah, because I sing, and it was really hard here to showcase your talent. Like, of course, we have Art After Dark and the Fine Arts Department. I wanted to do it in a different way where people could hear me sing. I was in the Glee Club for a second. Yeah, I was. I was in the Glee Club freshman and sophomore year, but I felt like I was just a voice to them. They needed my voice. I didn't feel like I was I won't say an individual, but I just didn't feel like I was making a significant impact on the Glee Club. So I took a step away for a second to get myself together, and then that's when I realized I wanted to do Miss Maroon and White. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. So when you first got to Spelman and maybe you saw Miss Maroon and White the first time, was that the moment that you knew that you were going to run, or when did you know, like, oh yeah, I'm definitely running now?
My freshman year was Olive Branch, right before all of us went out. It was at Clark my freshman year. So we sat in King Chapel. It was just the girls. And the second attendant to Miss Maroon and White, Corey Edwards, was there. And then the current Miss Spelman, and then Miss AUC as well. She was there, and they all spoke to us about how to maintain just, being the Spelman woman or being great woman at Olive Branch and everything. And I just, listening to Corey and everything that she was saying, I was like, she's really genuine. She seemed so nice. And when I found out like what she did and like why she was up there, I was like, the Miss Maroon and White Corps must do a lot. And I would love to be a part of that. But it's like I said before, like for a while, I felt like it was intangible. I felt like I couldn't Like it wasn't something that I could do. I thought it was just, I don't know. I just felt like
Something
it took a certain person.
in the distance.
Yeah, I felt like it took a certain person to genuinely want to be Miss Marina White and have that weight on her shoulders. So I didn't think that I was that person. So it was just a dream for a little while. I was like, one day I'll be Miss Marina White, maybe. I talked about it to some of my friends. I was like, y'all remember freshman year, I wanted to be Miss Marina White. I was like, I had no fake intros. Like I really thought I was like, freshman year, I was like, it was just a dream for a while. And then the closer and closer I got to being like the time coming, it was like, oh wow, this is really about to happen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so when was the moment where you were like, you know what, I could actually do this?
I think
I could actually run for Miss Marina White, yeah. It
wasn't even the running, it was like that I could even place. Because for a while, I thought I couldn't even place. I was like, I gave myself every reason. I'm too big. My hair is not long. I gave myself every reason why I don't like to wear makeup. You know, little things. And so then when I realized, wow, I have a really, really good shot. It had to have been the night before the pageant.
Wow.
The night before the pageant was when I was like, wow, I really have a shot. Wow.
So really moving by faith. You know, I don't even know if I can, but like, I'm just gonna do it.
I'm gonna see what happens. That's exactly what was going through my head. I'm just gonna see how this works.
Wow.
And I was it was a really, really big eye-opening experience for me. This was a time I learned so many things. To believe in yourself, don't doubt yourself, and if you want to do something, you go out there and do it. And don't let anything or anybody stop you. You know, keep
That's
a
powerful.
positive mindset. Yeah, because if you don't have that, like honestly, if I didn't run for Miss Marina White, I'd probably be sitting here today like, man, I really wanted to do that. I wish I would have, you know, at least tried just to see what happens.
What a cushion.
You know, and so it was like, it's still right now at this very moment, it's still surreal to me. It's like, oh wow, like this could, yeah. So yeah.
Wow. What do you think the quintessential ideal man of Morehouse should look like?
I definitely, that is a really hard question. I told you earlier, that was one of the questions that was asked us in practice. So, you know, I would have to say upholding moral character. That's to me, that's all I really can say. It's just because when you go out into this world and being yourself, when you go out into this world and you get a job, they don't want to hire somebody who is acting like somebody they know they're not. They want you to be yourself, be who you are, be honest, have integrity, you know. And I feel like that is extremely important. I see that in everybody on campus.
And that's funny. It was actually essentially like a trick question, because Man of Morehouse, there's so many different types. Like we're so well-rounded and so multifaceted that there is no. So like moral character was literally the perfect answer. You have won, Miss Marina White.
Thank you.
That's so respectable. You don't understand how respectable, like a hard-working, like really down to the grind. Like, I don't know this, but I'm gonna know it because I'm gonna study, I'm gonna learn it, that's just so respectable. That's so respectable.
The one thing I said in the Miss Marina White debates was that I want to be a sister before I'm your queen. I don't want anybody to think that I am, I don't know, something that I'm
above
not.
them?
Right. I don't want anybody to think that, like, when I was campaigning, I know a lot of my pageant sisters had big campaign events. I couldn't necessarily do that because I didn't really have the time and the resources for it. So I went into the caf and I ate lunch and dinner with y'all. And, you know, I was just like, for me, that was my best way of getting my name out there. Because they're going to remember when somebody sit down and talk to them about the game tonight. You know, like, so I tried to make it as personable as possible. So I want them, if that's one thing I can say to Morehouse, is remember, I am still your sister. Because I don't want anybody to think anything otherwise.
So Kalin, like leading up to the cheating scandal, a lot of people know about how Morehouse had went through that. We had to re-vote and all of this just drama, to be honest. What were you going through? Did they tell you guys what was happening? Like who was allegedly cheating? Or were you guys in the dark just like us? So what was happening?
I'll say we were in the dark just like y'all for a little bit, but I understood why. They didn't want us to know too much, and then they didn't want everybody else to know more than what we knew. So we kind of, I will say, it was a very confusing time. It was emotionally stressful.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, because it's like you think that after the pageant, you know, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute. So then when it's not as you think it is, it does get a little stressful. It gets a little scary. I got phone call after phone call after phone call. Kalin, what's going on? Kalin, what's going on? I don't know. You know, I don't know, and I wish I could tell you, because I wish I knew. But it was a very hard, tough time for all of us, because they got us all back involved. Everybody thought they just narrowed it back down to the 3. No, they got all 5 of us back involved into everything. And we had to meet with Dean Booker. They asked us, you know, what did we feel like they should do as far as the next steps? And, you know, I told them, I was like, I'm not necessarily sure if I'm a big fan of the revote. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm a big fan of that. But I said, you know what, I can't let that bother me. What they do is what they do, and I trust that they're gonna do it right. So I sat down and I prayed on it, and I was like, whatever happens, happens, and it's in your will. That's exactly what happened. So I wasn't mad at anybody. I didn't put the blame, I didn't point any fingers at anybody, even though everybody else was. You know, I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a Twitter, but I saw everything that everybody was saying from my friends, his Twitter. And so I was like, this is too much. This is a lot going on, and everybody's watching. Everybody wants to know what happens next. So when they did the revote, you know, I told you I stayed in my room that day. I said right there. I said, well, whatever happens, happens. I had lunch with my dad at 12. Me and him, we met at Bar Taco. And then I got a phone call from Mark Anthony, my pageant director. He said, can you come to Morehouse at 1:15? I said, yeah, no problem. I come, all of us are sitting at this table. The student leaders are sitting across.
Oh, I know that was nerve-wracking.
He turns the computer around. He shows us the results. And he says, Kalin, you are the 2017-2018 Miss Maroon and White. I tell you, I busted out in tears.
That just gave me shivers just now, man.
It's just, because you know, you're like, all of this happened, and it's worth it. You know, either way that it turned out, even if they would have said, Kalin, you are second attendant, I would have been like, okay, thank you. But I'm glad that it turned out like this, because we all worked so hard. You know, we all worked so hard for one spot, or just a spot on court. And you know, on Friday night, I was grateful to be first attendant. Anybody will tell you that. I was really okay. I didn't throw a fit about not being Miss Maroon and White. I was all right. But then when I found out that there was some discrepancies, you know, that's when I wanted, you know, to know what was going on, especially with my name in it. I called Jasmine Mitchell Sunday night. I said, you know, what's going on? I know you can't tell me much, but if you know anything, can you just tell me what's going on? I don't even want to know if y'all are disqualifying or taking anybody out the pageant.
Because I heard that somebody was getting disqualified, and then they weren't even.
Yeah, there was a lot of information that was being thrown out, and a lot of information that was being thrown back at me, because I didn't necessarily understand what was going on. So I just was like, whatever y'all decide to do, just do it right. You know, just do it right. So that's mainly where I stood at with that.
Okay, and so this is the last question. What's the longest you've gone without brushing your teeth?
Oh wow, this pageant, it will probably be a great 3 days.
Really? Yeah, I know you got them pearly whites, man.
I say that only because, like, in the morning, I just be on the go. I just be like, let me put on some clothes and just go in there and be in the car. Oh my God, I forgot. And then, luckily, I keep Tic Tacs in my car just in case.
True.
But yeah, so that's probably the longest I've went.
So, Kalin, it's been literally my pleasure. You coming out to be on the show. I'm super excited about next year.
Me too.
Good luck, all good vibes, positivity. You're gonna do amazing, I already know.
Thank you so much. This is Kalin Tate, the Miss Maroon and White for the 2017-2018 school year. Stay luminous.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. And thank you guys for watching Something Interesting with Robert Rucker. We've got Miss Maroon and White today.